Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Combo Breaker 99. I'm back with another quick post-fight analysis video. All right, y'all. Jessica Penne versus Loopy Godinez. Man, it's been one of those weekends, y'all. First, Julia Budd versus Diana Silva. Now, Penne versus Godinez. I mean, I'm gonna be straight up at the beginning of this video. I felt like Godinez did enough to win this fight. I felt like she won it 3-0, maybe 2-1. I think that's being generous, but I really feel like Godinez, she did enough to win in this fight. But the other side of me was still saying that, look, you need to close this show. You really need to commit to what you're doing in it. And that's why I say whenever a fighter showcases their strengths, that's one thing, but you got to have that IQ. Godinez definitely has the power. She has the boxing skill and the striking skill, and she has the technique, and she has the physical strength. But the one thing she was lacking in this fight was the IQ. I'm just being honest, straight up. She's still a young fighter, so you got to tell her straight up, look, you got to commit to what you know, go for what you know, and go and stick with your strengths. That's all she had to do in this fight. If she continued to just dominate from the mid-range and outside with her striking, she possibly could have stopped Jessica Penne. I mean, real quick, let's go back and look at the fight. The first round, Godinez all the way, just her boxing and striking. She opened up with a nice overhand right. She came back with a nice left hook, another overhand right combination, and then she was just striking at a good distance, jabbing, switching levels, going down to the body, going up to the head, just showcasing some good striking. And she also showcased how strong she was. Every time Penne would try to clinch, she would control those clinches. And she would also just pick Penne up and just slam her. So I was like, okay, she's winning this round comfortable. Just stay on the outside. But a couple of times she tried to go in for that headlock. Penne, towards the end of the round, she did slip to the back, try to go for that rear naked choke, but Godinez showcasing that strength. She was able to keep it standing and just hand fight. She was able to fight off the hands and the wrist and just survive that rear naked choke attempt from Penne. So that was kind of a key into what Penne was going to do for the rest of the fight. Second round, Godinez, she opened up with some nice combinations, a good leg kick. But again, she was making that mistake, pushing in for that clinch, giving Penne a chance. So Penne once again went in for a clinch, but Godinez, she put that weight on her. And then she came back in, fending off those hands of Penne. Penne was being slippery, though. She was being slippery this round. She was trying to get to that back once again, but Godinez, nicely done. She was able to spin her around, break, go back to using that jab. But also, Penne was using her jab. But, I still feel like the striking range, the mid-range, and outside was favoring Godinez. If she would have just stayed on the outside box, like I said, and land those good right hands, she probably could have stopped. Penne. Godinez, she was really doing nice work fending off those takedowns and doing those slams, but she really needed to just put more punches together and just stay on the outside. But close round, but I gave it to Godinez again. Last round, Godinez, she opened up with a nice strong jab. She controlled those clinch attacks again for Penne, muscling her way along the fence. Godinez really, to me, just needs to use her strengths from here and just box. She's still kind of giving Penne a chance. And one of the things I said, just stay at a distance, use those combinations, but I think she was kind of wearing herself down trying to, go into the clinch with Penne. She continued to try to muscle her. And Penne, once again, tries to climb. She tries to climb Godinez, but Godinez, she drops her hard. She does that slam once again. Then she catches that leg from Penne again, drops her again. So she's doing these nice little tosses. Like, she's not going full out takedown where she's on top. She's just being smart here. She is showing partial IQ here because she's slamming Penne. Then she's going right back to standing up where she wants to be. She's showcasing that physical strength. Godinez, I think she really had a chance to finish it, but she didn't go after Penne. Penne was going after that triangle in the last minute, scoring some strikes, looking to steal the round. Whenever she had that triangle, she was scoring those little hits to Godinez. So I think that's how she kind of stole that round. But, in my opinion, it didn't work. But in the judges' eyes, I guess it did. Overall, I feel like Godinez, she did enough to win this fight. I feel like she landed well, did better with her striking. She did more damage, and she had better work as far as in clinch control. And the slams, I'm like, what were the judges looking at? These slams were effective. She was slamming Penne on her back and just controlling the fight. But I had it 3-0 at most, 2-1. If I'm feeling, a little bit nice towards Penne, I would say 2-1. I gave her the second round. But overall, I think Godinez did enough to win the first round and the third round. But from here, man, it was like I said, if you're looking from the corner, you're going to tell your fighter, look, close the show. Go for your strengths. Go for what you know. Just commit to what you do. Don't give Jessica Penne a chance. Don't give her a chance. Look, you got to take advantage that she's rusty in there and you're landing clean shots. Just keep boxing. Just keep boxing. That's what I told her. Like Roger Mayweather tells Floyd, box his ass. Box his ass. That's what she needed to do in this fight. Just box Penne and stay on the outside. If it went to a clinch, if a clinch was forced by Penne, then you go in for that clinch and you muscle her back and then you slam her. But don't initiate the clinch. Just stay on the outside. This was one time I was really surprised on how a shorter fighter like Godinez, young up and coming fighter, was able to control the pocket and the outside on a much taller, experienced fighter. But overall, like I said, I gave it to her. I know the judges, like I said, that's one of those things you got to look out for. The more and more you move up, that's to Loopy Godinez. The more and more you move up in these levels, the UFC is going to play favorites to some type of fighters, or they might look for just garbage ways to give your opponent fights. So overall, I had her win in the fight, but she didn't get it. So from here, go back to the drawing board and just think IQ. Just think of your strengths. Continue to work on that boxing and that striking, and make that your strong suit. Yeah, man. So from here, going by the performance from Jessica Penne, being out of the octagon for over 4 years, and just matching her up with some of these top level strawweights, it's really tough to say if she's going to be able to hang with any of these strawweights. I mean, in this fight here, I just feel like she was kind of given a gift decision. I mean, she did use those little veteran tricks to win her the fight, just kind of stealing moments in the rounds, and just stealing those rounds and stealing minutes, and just convincing the judges that, look, she would win a round or two. But in my opinion, it's going to be tough, against some of these other fighters like Corey McKenna, even Kay Hansen, Jinh Frey. I feel like Jinh Frey could still give her a run for her money, since she won her last fight. But moving forward from here for Loopy Godinez, look, shout out to Loopy. I feel like she did enough to win the fight. I think moving forward, she just needs to really stick to her strengths. Don't give her opponent a chance. Even like in the Vanessa Demopoulos, that fight, I feel like it could have been more so one-sided, just because she's a much better striker than Vanessa Demopoulos, but she turned it into a firefight. And that's why I was kind of afraid of in this fight, that, she might try to make it more of a fight instead of a clinic. Just go in there and do what you do if you want to move up the ladder. Especially when you go into the UFC, you got to learn to close the show and just fight for you. You got to use that IQ. But yeah, man, let me know in the comment section, guys, what y'all think. Where do y'all see Jessica Penne going from here? Do you see her matching up against some of these other fighters in the strawweight division, after a 4-year layoff? And what do you think Loopy Godinez needs to work on from here? And who do you think won the fight, Penne or Godinez? Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.